guys, welcome back to Linda's Pantry, and today, as you can see, it's going to be busy. I am going to do an update on the garden, how things are doing, and some GreenStalk stuff is coming into play. I have a link for GreenStalks down below. There's a coupon code. You can save some money if you decide you want to buy stuff. They do have a couple new things that they didn't have before, but these, I will say, I recommend you get them because it supports the plants and it really does a nice job. I think I mentioned it in my last video, but so for those of you that haven't been with me and gotten to see all the GreenStalks, so I put mine down to 4 tiers high. That way I can see in the top in the watering vessel and I can water easily. They, you know, I just didn't like them as tall as they were because I couldn't see in the top. And if I had seedlings in here too, I couldn't see quite as well. So that gives me 4 of the green ones and 2 of the tan or stone color ones. So today I'm going to show you what's going on. I'm going to take you through all of this pretty quickly, and then we'll go out back to that garden area and get moving on that. So super exciting. First I want to show you. Okay, look at that. I have potatoes, and they're flowering, which means they're putting tubers down below. And this is a small purple potato. So I've got 2 of the plants that are flowering. I got a bean in there and some herbs down underneath, which is wonderful. Some, I think this is oregano. Oregano, delicious. Okay, so, yum. So I'm excited about this. I'm excited to see how many we get. I'll show you in the greenhouse. I planted some in 10-gallon grow bags. So let me turn the camera around. You don't need to see me, and I'll start showing you some plants. All right, so in this first one, I had planted from seed in the greenhouse Swiss chard. So I up-potted them to these 2 tiers, and I've also got some kale that I transplanted. And this is just a regular green variety of kale. I also highly recommend the turn bases. I just don't know how you can do this. You can then move these around. You can turn them so they get sunlight that they didn't get yesterday, that kind of thing. This one has the patio tomatoes. They're just thriving in these GreenStalks. I've never had patio tomatoes do this well. Green beans, and these are the dragon tongue green beans. I've got a flush of beans that we'll be picking today. Green beans down there. Swiss chard that's a little older. And pretty much that's almost it for, that is it for this one. It's green beans, Swiss chard, and is it dragon tongue? Yes, dragon tongue green beans and tomatoes. And over here I have, this is a pumpkin, I believe. I believe. And it's it's a little mini pumpkins. So I've also got leeks in here and in this. I have leeks in this one. I had a leftover Swiss chard, so I just put it in there. So these are the Italian grilling peppers, they call them. They're a narrow pepper, but oh my gosh, they've got some heat to them. They're good though. But eggplant, we've already eaten the first one, and some beets. Okay, now this GreenStalk has flowers, parsley, and if you remember, I had cut that parsley all the way down and it's already grown back. So I'll be dehydrating some more. These patio tomatoes, they have the support things on them, and I've got peppers down below, jalapenos. They're just starting to set some fruit. I had a couple of seeds that I was interested to see if they would actually take off in here. So I planted a little tomato there. These are, I think those are 42-day tomatoes. I did get in here and prune the leaves off from around the bottom of the patio tomatoes because I didn't feel like it was getting enough airflow. So peppers and tomatoes and green beans, of course. And see all the parsley that grew back. And then this is also the 42-day tomato. So we'll see. We'll see. You know, you don't know unless you try. And then, of course, flowers, zinnias, collecting seeds from my marigolds. I've got enough to last me a couple years, I'm sure. So in this one, I have the freckled romaine up top there. They're lightly freckled this go round. Some more beans. I planted from seed some Paris Island. It's just now starting to come up. Paris Island. Oh, I see beans coming up. Anyway, Paris Island romaine, and I've got some, I believe that was romaine as well, but we'll see. And some strawberries. Sorry about that. More flowers. I love the flowers. And just beautiful, beautiful strawberries. And they're still flowering. The interesting thing is I have not had any runners at all this year on any of the strawberries. But very excited to have red berries every once in a while. And they're just going, going, going. And let's see. Yeah, everybody's doing real good. And basil, I do have some basil and some more kale. And there's some red Russian kale. And even just at this stage, this is delicious in a salad. I got my peas in way too late, so I'm probably going to pull them all. And actually, right now, we're going to pick some green beans. So I've got, yeah, these guys can go on my dinner plate. And these were the, I think this was a contender green bean. So some of these didn't do too hot. I have heard from other sources that the dragon tongue does better in the GreenStalk. So we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, I'll get me some green beans in my little tub and we'll add it to our veggies tonight. Let's see. How easy is this? So somebody that, let's say, is handicapped or has some limitations, you can pick, and this is, you know, you can come out and pick and just turn it and not have to worry about it. I do have cucumber down there, and ironically enough, the first cucumber that is set in fruit is right up here in this flower pot. And I was like, oh, because I had pulled it out of one of the pockets. There was too many plants in one pocket, and I pulled it out, and there you go. And this pot is doing really well. These are the echinacea, or the coneflower, the purple coneflower. So those won't do anything much till next year, but more of the cucumbers, beans. These are a ruffled, red ruffled pimento. So that's what they are supposed to look like. Lettuces, some more of the speckled romaine. I love this lettuce. It is so delicious, and it's so pretty in a salad. And then this is the Cause Island romaine, and this is like a little butter gem lettuce. So, yum. Okay, so I think I'm going to start in here. I had to put this over my carrots because the birds were getting them and picking off all their leaves, and then they don't get any photosynthesis. Here's that purple tomato. Very cool. I can't wait for that. Not super excited about how well the tomatoes have done. They're tall. I mean, they go up, 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 but like very tall, but not as many as I would like. So I'll be picking all of these yellow pear, or not yellow pear, but yellow gold tomatoes in here. I'll get these picked. And I think there's maybe a couple red ones in here. Yeah, there's a couple down here that might be ready. And then, of course, the squash. I just picked a yellow squash yesterday, so there's another one, couple of them in there. And down below, I see one down there. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, see? Oh yeah, there's one ready to pick. I better get over there. And then more tomatoes. And the bees are in here because we haven't got the panels put on the greenhouse yet. So these panels will come off of there completely and the new ones will go up. But we're going to hinge over on the ends here. We're going to hinge it so we can have airflow. And okay, so the zucchini, there's little babies in there. There's some out there. We've had a couple of them. They're wonderful. And these are jalapeno, no, these are pimento peppers right here, just regular pimentos. This was a tomato sucker that I pulled off that purple tomato, so we'll see if it does anything. This is spaghetti squash, and that is a winter squash that's starting to run and vine, so I'm expecting to get some flowers here soon. Okay, and now we'll turn around. Potatoes in the 10-gallon grow bags. And as you can see, I'm ready to up pot some. But these are all my seedlings that I started. And what I do is I label what it is, how many days till harvest, how many days till germination. So I kind of have an idea what's going on. And I've got, as you can see, there's a variety of stuff. I still have this 6-pack to plant. I don't know why I'm stalling on that one, but and these are going out here. Kohlrabi, I got to get those up potted. I've got rhubarb. Look at how the rhubarb's getting its secondary leaves now. So these are going to get up potted as well, and I'll let them winter over. More Swiss chard, winged bean. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a winged bean. I've been trying to grow them. Birds ate that off. Birds whacked that off. I got one here and there's 2 in the grow bed. But I'm not impressed. These are all artichokes here. And I believe this is dill. If any of you know what this is, that's all I can think is I planted dill. And then I was impatient, so I planted Swiss chard. And yes, I have a window. My husband cut a window in here so we can have ventilation in here. And there'll be another one right there where you see the line across the top. So, okay. Let's get to picking tomatoes and then I'll take you outside. Okay, so this is like a jungle. I love it though. I've got my zinnias. The nasturtiums have taken over. So the garlic, I mean, we're still growing garlic. I'm probably going to pull the nasturtiums out of here only because they're overcrowding. Some of my onions aren't, you know, doing as well because they're getting sun neglect. So these nasturtiums, unfortunately, are going to go away and they'll be compost. Same with in here. Look at this. It's absolutely crazy. And there's rhubarb in there. So I need to clean out these, and I need to pick rhubarb because it's screaming, help, I need to go in your kitchen. I would like to go be in a dish. Okay. Yeah, look at this. Nasturtium City. Okay, big rhubarb in there. I don't know, is that too blurry? Good gravy. Yeah, I've got to get some of this out of here. These are, I'm going to leave what I can, but yeah. For the most part, it's pretty, but I need the rhubarb to thrive as well, and the onions and all of that. But look at this. This is rhubarb that I planted from seed last year. Okay, I'm going to get to working on this, and I'll bring you back when we've got some of this out of the way. Okay, so clearing this out. It's super easy. The nasturtiums pull real easy. So now my garlic, my onions, which you can see they're trying to bulb up. One got pulled out with it, so. And then the chives in there. This rhubarb is being deprived of light, so it'll snap back though in a couple of days, so no problem. These are green onions that I planted from, you know, the butts when you buy them at the store. Yeah, these little guys. This guy got a little bit hacked up. And then rhubarb, another green variety. So I've got a couple of green ones. This is definitely a green variety. And then the red variety, red. Okay, now it's time to pick rhubarb, but look at those. From seed, you can do this. All right. And I will have plants for sale next spring that are well established. Okay, I am going to finish cleaning up. I'm going to pick some rhubarb, and then I'm going to go in and get some a container for blueberries, which the deer have been helping us out of. Now this is what I did with the nasturtiums. I will come out here though and kind of look through some of this. Look, like that, and get some seeds for next year. I see them in here, so I'll kind of root through a little bit and gather the seeds up. See? And there's usually 3 on them. Most of the time there's 3 to a deal. Anyway, this will compost down into the bottom of this when we get this backfilled in with soil. Is that a, nope, that's just a bloom. Okay, let's get some blueberries. Oh, these are so good, so pretty. And if it wasn't for the deer, we'd have a lot more. But that's okay. Next year, we'll have them fenced out. Oh yeah, these are ready. Got to get these off of here before they do. I've got a few apples to pick today. And then these are the Asian pears. There's 2 different kinds on this tree. They've got quite a ways to go. Everything's further behind this year. And here's a couple apples too on this tree. And I don't know what kind of tree it is. So we worked on, oh yeah, and we put rain catchment off the greenhouse on both ends. And you can actually plant in here, put some flowers in there, and it'll drain out the front if you get too much water. I'll try to leave a link down below for those, as well as, you know, my link for the GreenStalks. So we cleared out a bunch of this bamboo. This first tree here, that is an Asian pear. And somebody cut it off thinking it was shading the plum tree, when in fact it was all the stuff that was out here. We cut down a magnolia tree, a big rhododendron, and we're letting the light in. And look what we have. We have plums, like hundreds and hundreds of plums. I'm so super excited about that. So I put the wheelbarrow out here with the echinacea in it, thinking it would keep the deer away from my plums because they keep stripping the leaves off of the branches. When they strip them, and I cut a bunch of branches off, and they did. They stripped them right off the ground too. And they ate the sour plums, so they're not that picky, but that's what we've got going. Okay, I'll bring you around to the end. I wanted to show you, look how good that artichoke plant is doing. The deer don't bother those. There's another one there, little one. The little ones are a different variety. This is a big green globe. These are a purple globe. And more flowers. And oh, this is a radicchio. I put that in there with the flowers. Why not? Edible arrangements. And then this is all zinnias. They came up. So pretty exciting about that. All right, let's go pick some rhubarb. It's not as pretty without the flowers, but I'm happier. The wisteria is blooming, but look at the rhubarb. I mean, this needed sunshine. These guys did okay, but yeah, they were getting dwarfed in there. So there was a time for flowers, and now there's a time for what I meant these beds to be for, and that is delicious rhubarb. This one suffered the biggest trauma. It will pop back though within a couple of days. All those stalks will come to life. I'm gonna pick that big giant one though. Okay. Okay, so we got about a pint of blueberry. Well, not quite a pint, but what I have in the house is probably twice as much as this. So we got enough to do something. My first flush of blackberries out of the backyard, but there's a whole row of blackberry bushes across the street that I can go pick. And here is my rhubarb haul. I'm gonna make a dessert with part of this, but the rest of it I'll be cutting up and putting into into freezer bags and vacuum sealing it. So we've got plenty for us to have this winter. And like I said, last video I did for rhubarb, sorry. Okay, so the last video I showed you, you want to try to twist that off at the base for the last rhubarb video. And then leave the top part of this leaf on. And you can stick these in water and they'll stay in your fridge for a couple of days. So, fresh. And if you were going to sell it at farmer's market, that's what I would recommend doing. And look at that, that's huge. And these do not feel spongy at all. They feel very solid and they're heavy, lots of water in them. So, my one little onion that came out by accident, that's okay. We'll have that with our dinner tonight. Some tomatoes and some green beans. Also, these beautiful nasturtium seeds. Now, you can eat these just like this. They're peppery like a radish. Or you could let them dry and you'll have seeds for next year. So I'm just going to let those dry in the windowsill right alongside my geraniums. Or not my geraniums, my marigolds. So I have a bowl already in the house started. So, okay, I am going to go in and get this stuff cleaned up. And I hope that this inspires you to try your hand at some gardening, even if you're in a small space, because the GreenStalks are the way to go. In just the size of a small deck, I have GreenStalks filled with food that I wouldn't have any other way, because I can keep the deer off of this decking. Okay, let's go in and I'll get to cooking something. What would you like to see me make with the rhubarb, the blackberries, or the blueberries? Leave me a comment in the comment section, and I will pick one to do for you guys. If it's feasible and I have all the ingredients, I will make it. All right, see you next time. Bye. I thought I would bring you in, so I put 4 big stalks and 1 small one in the refrigerator in the garage, all the red variety. Because the dessert I'm going to, or I have planned, unless you guys give me a better idea, is going to, I want it to have the red variety, because it's going to show through. So this bundle, I don't want it to sit in the fridge. I want to use it as fresh as possible. Look at this giant, and this is just as fresh as it can be. These needed to get cut. I'm glad that I've been cutting on the rhubarb, or not cutting on it, but pulling it, because it did so well. And if you look at the package of seeds, a lot of people have the misconception that you have to wait 2 years, and I was under that too, that you couldn't pick rhubarb until it'd been in the ground for at least 2 years, all that. That is not true at all. So this didn't get cleaned off well enough. So that isn't true. It's, these are second-year plants. They're doing better than the ones that were older. So imagine that. Okay, so just get all the ends cut off. I'm going to slice this all up, and I'm going to take you downstairs, and we're going to vacuum seal this, and I'll show you how easy that is. I'm going to be using the Weevac and I do have a link for that weed vac in the description down below. So if you're in the market for a vacuum sealer, a chamber vac is the way to go. It just, oh my gosh, that thing is heavy. And rhubarb for, you know, desserts, pies, any of that, if you get it out of the freezer, it works wonderful for jams, jellies, pies, cakes, any of that. You can use the frozen, and you cannot tell the difference. So that's what we're doing next. And like I said, I want to see what you guys think I should make with the rhubarb. So all I'm going to do is cut this up, oops, sorry, into chunks. Because when I use it for a recipe, it's going to cook down. You can have it in like 1/2-inch pieces. It works great. And then scoop it up, put it in my bowl, and it smells so good. I love the smell of rhubarb. Okay. Let's get this ready for vacuum sealing. You want to? Okay. Wonderful. All right. I'm going to keep moving on this, and I'll meet you downstairs. Okay, so I've got my bowl of rhubarb. I'm very happy with this. Plus, I've got enough to do a recipe upstairs. I'm hoping you guys, okay, so I want to do these rhubarb cheesecake bars, if you think that that's something you might like. The other one I thought about was, why couldn't I mix the rhubarb and either the blueberry or the blackberry and make a dessert? So give me your thoughts. Tell me what you think. And this will be the second time I've put rhubarb in the freezer. So I use the bags that come, or that you can get from WeVac. I have the 6x10 and the 8x12s. This is an 8x12. And what I like to do whenever I'm vacuum sealing, and even when I come down here, let's say I've got a big package of chicken thighs. I do the exact same thing. I label it first, rhubarb, the month and year. And then I turn the lip down. So if you get any product on the lip, it doesn't hurt anything. And I've got rubber gloves and a pen right here. So I am ready to go with a Sharpie and rubber gloves on my table here. And then they go right into the freezers where, you know, I've got 3 freezers down here. So then they go right in the freezer, and we're happy as can be. Okay, so my hands are clean, trust me. The rhubarb's clean, my hands are clean. And I just go ahead and load those bags. I may need 3. I'm hoping 2 is gonna be enough. I don't measure. Some people would measure out what they need, but there's so much water that you're gonna lose from the freezing process that, let's fill up the second one first. I want them about even. And then there's so much water that, you know, that kind of seeps out once you freeze rhubarb. I use it all, don't get me wrong, but it's not a solid anymore. It's not solid measurements anymore. But oh, it's good in cakes and desserts. And I know you guys wanted to see how to make strawberry rhubarb bread or muffins with the canned versions, and I will do that. I got several requests. I will do that, but not just now. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I've got 2 bags, about a quart each, and we'll go ahead and do the WeVac. The vacuum sealer, it's a little loud, so I don't know. Let me plug in. There we go. I'm going to plug in. Oh yeah, blackberry bushes will tear your arm open. Ah, they hurt so bad. It's like once they hook, they don't let go. Oh, it hurts so bad. Okay, I probably could have cut this bag shorter. That's the other benefit. If I wanted to open this bag and take just, let's say, a cup out, I could do that and reseal the bag. So I put the little stopper thing under, the bag goes in, you push it down, and it's ready for vacuum. And then I just hit, I'm going to hit Smart Vac and then start. And let it seal. And it takes a minute or two, but it's pretty fast. And it works so good. So you guys, if you're in need of a vacuum sealer, this is the king of kings. I would definitely check out the link. It's free to shop. All right. I do have a coupon code down there though. And so if you do purchase, you can save some money, and it doesn't cost, it won't cost you any more by going through my link. In fact, you'll save money. So now we're waiting. I want you to get it in real time. The next one, I won't put you through this. But here we go. Now it's on the countdown. And you've got to wait the whole time. So you don't want to open this or you'll ruin your... Yeah, now you have to wait till it beeps. And it beeps. Then you can open. There's a button on the side. Open it up. Pop that thing up. And you have perfectly vacuum sealed rhubarb. Love this. Okay, I'm going to get the other one done. It's going in the freezer. Guys, I hope this inspires you. I really wanted to make a recipe in this video too, but it would make it extremely long. And my day has really gotten away from me with the construction that was going on upstairs this morning. But we got the main beam that'll hold the house, that we had to take some supporting walls down. So the beam that replaced that, so we can have an open concept kitchen and dining area, it's in. And it was a big one. It was 16 by 5.5 by 26 feet long, 16 inches deep by 5.5 wide by 26 inches long. That's a big beam to put up in the air. It was a big beam to get in the house. Anyway, but my husband got it done. And so now we're just going to start. He's got to bolt it to everything. More bolts. He's got some, and then we'll start tearing the rest of the walls down. Anyways, and I'll stay outside and garden. All right, guys, I can't wait to see you next time for another delicious recipe. Hopefully, you give me some ideas of what to use that I pulled out of the garden today. So guys, I appreciate you staying to the end, and I hope you'll subscribe and leave me that comment that tells me what you'd like me to make.